Alright, so guys, today we're going to work on our hair. You need all your tools here, so you need your 4H, 3B, and 6B pencil, and you need your pink eraser and your kneaded eraser, and then your little extra piece of white paper here. And as you can see, my paper is starting to get filled. I might have to grab a new one here soon. So if you're in that situation like me, I don't know, you may want to grab another piece of paper, but I'm gonna make this one work. Okay, so this is a previous demo that I did. When you guys do your hair, you're going to approach it, at least how I'm going to approach it, is I'm going to approach it one section at a time, and I do feel like this works best, at least for me it does, because I can keep the structure of the hair intact this way, whereas if I were to kind of attack all of my hair at once, I feel like I kind of lose the dimension in it. So this helps me just kind of keep my thoughts and my focus organized. So that's what I did right here, is I just worked on this kind of little swoop. A lot of people have this little swoop in their hair. So this is what I was working on right there. Now I have darker hair, dark brunette hair. At least that's what my hairstylist puts in my hair. And so I'm going to have more darker values than someone with like blonde hair, okay? But the rule of thumb, regardless of your hair color, is always going to be that every person here is going to have a full range of values. So you're going to have white all the way to black. But for someone like me who has dark hair, I'm going to have fewer of those lighter values than someone who has lighter hair. So they would be sort of the opposite of me in the sense that they have more lighter values and a few of the darker values. So, and you guys have to have a full range of values just to make the form happen. So you're not going to get form without your lights and your darks. Okay? So I'm going to kind of switch this to my other piece here. You might have to kind of zhuzh your hair a little bit or kind of make some adjustments so it kind of matches more of what you had before. This is not easy. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of zoom into this top section so you kind of see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to have all three of my pencils handy, and I go through this, I don't know, maybe a little differently. Because I have darker hair, I'm probably going to start with my 3B first. Someone with lighter hair might want to start with 4H first, but I like the 3B because it's kind of in the middle, and I can kind of break up, I can make up all of those, or find all those shapes that a lot of the values are making, working around all those lighter ones, and I can fill them in later. So I'm going to start with my 3B, okay? Now again, remember, just because we're shading hair doesn't mean we need to go all into just a ton of different lines. Again, you want to focus on the shapes that you see the values making. So I'm going to just work on the swoop here, and I am going to look at what these shapes look like. So I'm not so much as working on line as I am shape. So I'm going to look kind of like a striped zebra here at first. And you guys can see on mine, so I've got this swoop, but then I have this like kind of section of hair that goes over it. To make that look like it's going over, you know, I can see that there's a shadow coming off of this front section of my hair onto this, so I'm going to make sure that I get that in there so that this section looks like it's in front. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Well, you can see the recording on Canvas. I do that a lot, so sorry. So again, I'm going to look a little stripey here for a little bit. That's okay. I'm just mapping out these shapes. So again, it's not always about line. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to hair, is they just think, oh, I've got a million hairs, I need to draw all of them, it's all about line, 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 line. And it's not. I think it's more about shape. So I think if you focus more on shape, then you're going to get a lot more structure in your hair that way. Okay, so after I do that, I got my 3B kind of started in there. Now I'm going to go in with my 4H wherever I need it. And see, this is why I like kind of starting with my middle value first, is that it makes it easy for me to see where my lights and my darks need to be. I'm just kind of shading over this wherever I see these shadows, leaving my bright highlights alone. Another thing too that I like to work on here is just kind of messing up my hairline edge so it doesn't look like a wig. So I'll go through and kind of just add just a few hairs, light hairs, kind of around this edge to kind of break that up, make it feel hopefully a little bit more natural. And again, our hairline isn't perfectly straight or even. So I've got that, and then I'm going to go in with 6B wherever I feel like I need it, just in this section. And so basically what I'm going to do is just try to get each section started. I'm not going to call it finished because I want to still be able to give myself room to go back through and adjust things to just kind of bring everything together. I'll get it. Like I said, I just want to get enough started here. Alright, so that's just that first section. Now I'll move on to the next section. So I start one place and I just kind of work my way from section to section. And again, I'm going to start, at least for me, got, again, dark brown hair. I'm going to start with my 3B first. you'll notice, and I'm working on a section that's kind of tucked behind my ear. You know, anytime you kind of pull your hair back, it's going to get darker in those spots. So there's a lot of things like I'm kind of expecting to see. So once I get the 3B started, then I'm going to go in with my 4H, kind of fill in some of those light gray areas. Leaving a few white for just right now. And then go in with 6B wherever I feel like I need it. Make sure I don't cover up my ear. Again, I just like to kind of leave just enough unfinished so that I have room to kind of tweak and adjust and fix things as I go through. Okay, so there's part of mine. You guys just need to keep going one section at a time. But again, leave yourself just enough room that you can go through and kind of fix things up. Just don't want to kind of try to finish the job before you've got, you know, any the other sections worked out. So there. All right.